Why does Smiley keep coming back? He's been killed in front of us, autopsied, and all the above. The town went through the trouble of rebirthing him through a human pregnancy. He shows up at every major turning point in the series, going all the way back to Miranda in the 1970s. And in Season 4, Episode 7 of From, we finally got a real answer of sorts to why. Smiley is one of the most talked about creatures in From, and after this past episode, he might be the most important one in the entire show. So today I want to do something I've been meaning to do for a very long time. Walk through every single time we've seen Smiley from his first kill in the 1970s that we're aware of, all the way through what just happened on that bus rooftop, which was absolutely insane. And by the end, I'm going to make the case for what Fatima's condition to him actually means, or I should say connection, not condition, but it is like a condition she has to him, and what I think her golem in general is really for. Quick spoiler firewall up front, gotta do it. We're going to walk through seasons 1 through 4, starting with episode 1 first. When we get to episode 7, I'll give you a clear warning before we cross that line as well. If you haven't seen episode 7 yet, you can pause when I tell you to. Let's walk through every Smiley appearance in order and watch how the pattern builds. Smiley's first chronological appearance isn't season 1. It's in the late 1970s, early 1980s, decades before the Matthews family ever arrives into this town. Miranda Cavanaugh, Victor's mother, the woman who figured out or got too close to figuring out that the bottle tree, the children, the bones, the symbols, all of it was connected. The woman who tried to free the town. She ran for the bottle tree and she was going to finish it. She was going to save everyone. And before she could reach it, Smiley ran up to her and killed her. That's the first thing we ever see Smiley do, chronologically at least. He kills the person who almost ended the town's cycle. This is the foundation for everything that comes after. Smiley is not a wandering predator. He's not random. He shows up when somebody is about to figure it out. He's the town's response to a breakthrough. And keep that in the back of your pocket because Tabitha is Miranda reincarnated. And in season 4, episode 7, Tabitha and Jade have just convinced the whole town that the bones of the children who were sacrificed are the key. They've just had the realization that Miranda had decades ago. The town's response is the same response it had the first time. Smiley shows up that night. Smiley's first appearance in the series proper is so subtle, most people miss it on the first watch. Long Day's Journey into Night, the pilot. As night falls and the Matthews family's RV is overturned on the road, we see creatures emerging from the woods, approaching. Smiley is one of them. He doesn't get a featured shot, he's uncredited, but he is there. Episode 2, The Way Things Are Now. This is the one where it gets personal for Kenny, and it's the one I want every single Frumily member to remember when we get to episode 7. Sarah Myers, hearing the voices, murders Toby inside the clinic and leaves the door open. Smiley and the bookworm walk in. Gina sees them, panics, and runs into the basement to try to warn Kenny's father to try to hide him. And let's just say it doesn't work. Smiley and the bookworm kill them both in the clinic basement, Gina and Kenny's dad. I'm flagging this hard now because it's going to matter enormously when we get to episode 7, so hold on to it. Add it to that Claude memory. Season 1, episode 9, All Good Things, the Colony House Massacre. This is Smiley's signature season 1 moment. The creature pretending to be Jasmine tricks Kevin into opening the windows. Kevin dies and the creatures pour in, and Smiley is one of them, and he's the most menacing for sure. They lure Trudy into a bedroom and kill her, and then Smiley walks out onto the balcony, blood dripping from him, and grins down at the people below. Dale looks up, sees him, and that's the moment the massacre begins. And what's important here is when this happens in the show's emotional arc. The Colony House had become the closest thing to safety this town has. Smiley shatters it. This is the second inflection point. Miranda was first. Somebody got got close to escape. Colony House is the second. People got close to a livable equilibrium. Both times, Smiley shows up to break it. Season 2 is where Smiley becomes the show's most carefully developed creature. He gets 4 appearances this season, and no other named creature comes anywhere close to that either. Episode 1, The Kindness of Strangers. The bus crash. Smiley walks onto the bus, sits in the driver's seat, and mimes driving. He turns the lights on. He spots 2 people hiding in the back, an elderly couple. He walks over to them, and then he kills them both. This scene is the show telling you plainly what Smiley does. Remember that bus. We're gonna come back to it in episode 7. Episode 8, Pastedukes? Is that how you say it? I honestly don't know. This is Smiley's biggest moment in the entire series until this past episode. Boyd has the worms inside him. He's figured out he can transfer them, so he walks out of the clinic into the street at night and calls the creatures to him. Several arrive, but it's Smiley who confronts him. Boyd cuts his own palm open, and he cuts Smiley's throat and presses the wounds together. As he does so, he says, "My blood is your blood now." Smiley, still grinning, says, "I like this game." And then the worms transfer, and you could tell Smiley's in pain or something, and his human face starts to dissolve. The other creatures gather around him to inspect what's happening, and Smiley collapses. Boyd runs back into the clinic afterwards. This is the third inflection point Boyd has, for the first time in the entire series, figured out a way to do something to a creature, a real, physical, repeatable thing. And the creature he does it to is Smiley. Out of all of them, the show chose Smiley to be the one who could be killed because Smiley is the only one the show treats as having a body that can be killed. Episode 9, Belly of the Beast, The Autopsy. Christy opens up Smiley's corpse and finds that he has the same anatomy as a human, same organs, same structure, just shriveled, if anything, devoid of fluid. Kenny stabs the body in frustration, and they discover bile, a strange orange liquid which they end up collecting. Marielle, meanwhile, is in withdrawal. She has a nightmare, and she goes into the boiler room looking for Christy and instead finds Smiley walking toward her. A music box plays. She wakes up gasping. Episode 10, Forest for the Trees. Cicadas are crawling all over Smiley's corpse in the boiler room, hundreds of them. By the time Boyd brings Donna down to see, they're all gone. Donna says to burn the body. Boyd and Kenny take it deep into the woods and burn it. So at the end of season 2, here's what we know. Smiley has a human-like body. He can be killed by Boyd's infected blood. His body produces a bile that Boyd will later try to weaponize, and it doesn't work in the RV scene. His corpse attracts cicadas that disappear before anyone else sees them. His body has been burned in the woods. And we, the audience, are meant to think that he's gone, but he is not gone. Season 3 is where the show shows its hand. For most of season 3, Fatima is pregnant. She doesn't know what's happening to her. She has visions. She's drawn to places. Things are wrong with the pregnancy in ways that nobody can explain. In the season 3 finale, she gives birth, but not to a child, to a fleshy pod. The kimono woman, who has been moving through the town as a guide, takes the pod down through the hatch in the root cellar. She carries it into a cavern beneath the town. Creatures are waiting. The swing coat lady, the cowboy, the jock, others, they're all gathered and all witnessing. The pod opens and Smiley climbs out, reborn and grinning that same frickin' smile. This is the moment the show confirms something it has been hinting at for 2 seasons. Smiley is the town's investment. The creatures don't just exist, they're renewed, and the renewal requires a human host, Fatima. But why Fatima? We honestly don't know for sure, but what we do know is from the moment that pod opens, Fatima and Smiley are connected. Season 4, Episode 1, The Arrival. Boyd and Kenny are deep in the tunnels under the town. They're looking for answers. It's picking up right where season 3 left off, and they're starting season 4 the way the show ends every cycle, with the residents getting close to something. And in the tunnels, Boyd grabs Kenny, Smiley walks into frame, bloodstained, putting his clothes back on, freshly born. He looks at Kenny and says, "Hello, Kenny. It's nice to see you again." That's my best That's my best impression of Smiley. The two of them run, they shut the trapdoor behind them. Boyd, shaking, tells Kenny Fatima gave birth to him. This is the moment the show shifts absolutely everything. Smiley is back. Fatima is the reason, and Kenny, whose father died at the hands of Smiley, is the one that Smiley personally greets. Smiley remembers. Okay, if you have not watched episode 7 yet of season 4, pause this video and go check out my breakdown after you watch it, because man, this is like my favorite episode. It's so freaking good. The rest of this video is a full breakdown of what happens in episode 7 and the reveal at the end. So come back once you've seen the episode and once you've watched the reveal. They're all meant to be in tandem. But anyway, for everyone still here, hi, hello, let's get into it. Tabitha and Jade have just told the town the truth. They were here before. The bones of the sacrificed children are the way out, and Miranda was right. This is the same realization Miranda had right before Smiley killed her in the 1970s. Boyd decides that night to test the totems against the creatures to see if Tabitha's discovery in the settlement actually works. Kenny volunteers in Boyd's place. He goes out into the street with the totem. He stabs the milkman looking one. The milkman screams in honestly a hilarious way, and then he stops, pulls the totem out saying, just kidding. Every escape route is blocked. The creatures are coordinated in a way that we've never seen before. The town is responding to that breakthrough of the totems, as well as the bones too. Kenny runs to the Grand Rapids bus, the same exact bus where Smiley sat in the driver's seat and killed that elderly couple in season 2. Kenny climbs up onto the roof and Smiley climbs up after him. And then Smiley says it. He says, I killed your father, you know. He made such funny noises. Kenny never particularly knew which creature did it either. As a matter of fact, he's lived 3 seasons not knowing. Smiley has known the whole time, obviously, and he waited 4 seasons to say it in Kenny's face on a bus rooftop right before he kills him, too. And right after he says his whole spiel, Smiley starts transforming, and he's about to kill Kenny. And inside Colony House, Fatima feels this. She's not in the bus with him, but she feels it and sees it through Smiley's eyes. She experiences what Smiley is about to do to Kenny through him. The connection that opened on the night that the pod was birthed is fully active. And for the first time in the entire series, she does something with it. She screams stop, and Smiley actually stops. Kenny springs up, shoves Smiley off the bus, climbs back inside, seals the door, puts a talisman on it, and survives. The Fatima-Smiley tether was established in season 3. We were told plainly that she feels his feelings. He feels her fear. Up to episode 7, that was a one-way street. In episode 7, the show flips it. She commanded him. Her voice, not even in the same building, overrode his ability to act. The creature that killed Miranda, the creature that killed Kenny's father, and the creature that has been the town's signature weapon since the 70s. All of that buildup was stopped because Fatima told him to. That is absolutely enormous. That changes the rules of the entire show. The town spent decades, possibly even centuries, building Smiley into what he is, and then it used Fatima to rebirth him, but in doing so, it gave the residents of this town the one thing they have never had before, and that's leverage. Now let me talk about the golem. For most of season 4, Fatima has been building a clay figure, a golem. The show has not explained why, and fans have theorized everything from grief processing to possession vessel to some kind of psychic anchor. I think episode 7 just told us what it is. In Jewish folklore, a golem is a figure made of clay, animated by sacred words, created to protect its maker and the community. It's a constructed defender against forces that would otherwise destroy you. It is fundamentally a counterweight. Fatima is tethered to Smiley. The town built that tether without her consent. The pod was forced into her body, and the birth was forced out of her. And ever since, she has been building with her own hands a figure she controls using the same general principle the town used on her. A vessel, animated, tethered to its maker. I think the golem is Fatima building the human equivalent of what the town did with Smiley. The town's most singular weapon now has a human counterweight. And we just saw on the roof of that bus the first time that the counterweight worked. Smiley has been in the show for 4 seasons. He's killed Miranda, he's killed Kenny's father, and he has led things like the Colony House Massacre. He's been killed, autopsied, burned, and reborn. He's been the town's response to every single breakthrough the residents have ever had. As you guys know, I probably sound like a broken record for saying that, but just gotta bring it up again, because in episode 7, for the first time, the breakthrough talked back. If Fatima can stop him with a word, what else can she do? What is the golem for, and what does the town do when its signature weapon has been compromised? The rules are clearly changing, and the breakthrough is real. Either way, with all of that out of the way, thank you again so much for watching this video, and until the next one, I'll talk to you later. Peace out.